What's the role of women in the church?
Sorry, I can see my wife just. It's worse when you're a believer.
Yeah.
You push harder. You don't take no for an answer. I can do all of the things that I'm doing because I know what to say no to.
Yeah.
No, it's the pursuit of purpose. It's not the pursuit of happiness.
Yeah.
And
Lean into your authenticity. Honor your truth. That's what holistic wellness means.
Boom.
Hey guys, welcome back to Inside Story with me, Koketso Naledi. Today, I have Lerato Makhetha in studio. He is a family man, a man of God, a man after God's heart. He's a property developer, a property manager, right? A property manager. He's an actor, a musician. He does it all. And today, we're about to find out how he does it all. Thank you so much for coming.
Oh my gosh, thank you for having me, guys.
Oh my God, I'm so excited for this conversation.
I'm excited to be here, man, and I'm excited for what you guys are doing. I often say, man, that there's so much space here, there's so much room for more riveting, thought-provoking conversation. So come in and let's do it. So well done to you guys, well done to yourself and your husband, and again, thank you for the invitation.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yeah. We can't wait for a masterclass though from you guys.
Well, I don't know. Maybe my wife should be here.
Yeah.
She might have a thing or two to say about my ability to give a masterclass.
Okay. Okay. We'll get into that.
Yeah, we'll get into that.
Some interesting thoughts.
Yes.
How are you though? How's everything going? On your way here today, how did you wake up? Did you meet anyone? Anything interesting on your way here did you bump into?
Traffic.
Yeah. I know about that.
I bumped into a lot of traffic.
Yeah.
I woke up grateful. You know, I made a deal with my kids that I was going to take them to school every morning. They used to go with school transport. I decided this year that I'm going to take them to school every morning.
Every morning.
Every morning because I'm working a lot, you know. So I said, okay, I'll commit to the morning and then the rest of the day, guys, you know. So it's great. We listen to the radio, we sing in the car, we have conversations, we catch up, we pray, we do whatever, you know. That was really cool. Yeah. And yeah, I was just grateful that that I had the ability to do that. You know, God has blessed me with beautiful kids. Able to take them to great school and you know, have conversations. So it was good. It was a good morning.
What are some of the values that you make sure that you give them, your kids?
I think I try to teach them what I learn. Hey.
Yeah.
That's really the simplest way for me to try to navigate life. So we have devotions every night, and every quarter or so, you know, I introduce a new theme, and that theme is really based on what am I learning in that moment. So I remember last year we were talking about gratitude, you know, and we learned the fruits of the Spirit, you know, and now we can recite, you know, love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, you know, and now it's become a little bit of a competition. And right now we're in the season of talking about what did you learn, you know, like what did you learn today? Because I think very often we're not intentional about constantly thinking about what you're learning. And yet every day there's so much lesson, you know, in everything. And so for these young minds, also just trying to teach them to remain curious. Spend your day thinking about, what am I going to say tonight about what I learned? You know, secondly, what are you grateful for? You know, we talk about that. What did you learn and what are you grateful for? Because just the ability to go through your day, looking for evidence of God is an awesome thing. And sometimes you learn that a bit too late in life, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And who taught you that? That's quite interesting hearing it from you at this age.
Yeah.
Where do you get that mentality from?
I had the privilege of growing up in a house where my father used to lead devotions every night, you know, so the practice of it, I definitely got from my old man. As far as the subject matter and the direction that we're going, I think I've learned today that it's on me, that it's my responsibility, where my family goes, how my family thinks, what does leadership mean? What does that look like? I spend a lot of time thinking about that. And then fortunately, I have every day to try to refine it. So I set up systems in my life to say, okay, what is going to force me to refine my leadership, for instance. One of the things was devotions, right? So you put that in place, and then you say, okay, this is going to force me to now think and say, okay, guys, this is what we're doing, right? Yeah. So.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah,
I love
thank
that
you.
so much. So talking about leadership and just talking about us as believers, not necessarily as believers, as children of God, the principle of just occupying space, building businesses, so we can have a say in the economic status of our country or of the world, how have you come to do that in your own right, within your own space?
I think that's a great question. And I kind of want to take it from the angle of, let us not assume that we get a pass just because we are believers.
Yeah.
You have a responsibility to work and operate at the very top level as a human being, believer or not.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's worse when you're a believer, because as a believer, you don't only represent yourself. You represent a kingdom. You're an ambassador for something that is so much greater than what is here on earth. And so that means you wake up earlier, you work harder, you negotiate harder, you push harder, you don't take no for an answer, you study harder, you need to come correct. When you walk into a space, you need to be the most informed on the subject matter. You need to be the most studied on it. Why? Because you're representing something that is bigger than just your ego. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I think that responsibility is greater. This idea that how do you, as a believer, how do you, and you're like, wait, that's a minimum requirement.
Yeah.
As a believer, we are here to possess the land.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's not okay, squeezing in. No.
It's your birthright.
Right. So,
it's what you're supposed to do.
You see, now it's your birthright.
Yeah.
But that birthright needs to be earned still.
Exactly. You need to work for it. That's what you're supposed to do. You need to position yourself.
100%.
Because you also have an advantage. You have the Holy Spirit. You have God.
Right.
To lead you and guide you.
Yeah.
And to tell you, don't do partnership with this person.
Yeah.
Do partnership with that one. Don't go in that direction. Go towards that direction, Yeah.
It's this concept of, if they're not giving you a seat at the table, create your own table.
Yep. Plain and simple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then your table must be of better quality than the table that they're not giving you access to.
Yeah.
You see, there's no point in creating a table and it's got wobbly legs and nobody wants to come to it anyway. So excellence. We serve a God of excellence. So be excellent.
Be excellent.
Yeah.
Know where you draw from and know the person you draw from.
For sure.
So this mindset, when did you start growing into this mindset? And how do you balance everything? I mean, wife, family, which is a ministry on its own. It's a business and a ministry in its own, right?
Yeah.
And then you've got property. You into so many things, right?
Yes.
You're an actor. You're here to occupy.
Yes.
The word of God says, be fruitful and multiply.
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
Yeah, you're here to serve. You're here to do it all, right?
Yeah.
How do you balance everything? Because you're an actor, you're a director, you're a producer, you're a family man.
Yeah.
And
I'm a property practitioner.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? And recently, you go into ministry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Take us through all of them.
Your life is, if you can learn the art of understanding that your life needs to be run like a business. Your life is like a body, right? That has got different functions. When I am eating, I'm not engaging my legs. Right? I'm left-handed. I might not be engaging my right hand, right? I might hold the fork with my left hand, but every now and then I need my right hand to reach out for the salt, right? If I'm working on a presentation, I'm engaging my mind. If I'm walking, I'm not engaging my mind, but I'm breathing. But I need my mind to communicate with my body that you need to breathe, right? And so it's this idea that you are multifaceted as a person. If you can learn the art of knowing where your value lies, prioritize that value, then everything will flow down from there, because that gives you the ability to know what to say no to. And that is possibly the most important part. I can do all of the things that I'm doing because I know what to say no to. Right? I've recently moved into the property space, and I'm doing, by God's grace, I'm doing very well. Okay?
Beautiful.
Now, this required of me to say no to a lot of acting jobs. I had to say no. Why? Because I'm clear about why it is that I am in the space and what it is that I need to realize. The truth is, between you, me, and the thousands of people that are watching, hopefully, like, subscribe, right?
Do the right thing.
Right? The trick is, am I able to work myself to a place where I can afford to take that acting job? Because my first responsibility is to take care of my family financially. If acting is not taking care of that, I need to take a step back. I need to be the first one to take a step back and say, whoa, wait a minute. Okay, this is not meeting me at my point of need, but I'm a business. So what do? You pivot and you go, right, this is what I'm going to do so that in future, I can afford to say yes to the acting job, but my family's taken care of. That's kind of
what happens when somebody comes and they say, but are you happy doing it? How do you get there? Are you happy doing it? Are you rested doing it?
Okay, happy or rested? Because those are two
Both
distinctly
of them, are you happy,
different things.
Rested? Are you content? Are you in a good space? Is your mental health okay? You don't feel like you lost out on something.
I think we unpopular opinion, right?
Yeah.
I think we overestimate the value of what we've defined as happiness.
Very true.
I think this idea of us pursuing, there's a whole movie, the pursuit of happiness.
Yeah.
No, it's the pursuit of purpose. It's not the pursuit of happiness.
Yeah.
Happiness is fleeting. I can wake up happy, and 5 minutes later, I get a phone call, and now I'm unhappy. What does that mean? And you need to create things in your life that create a foundation for joy, for peace, for purpose. And the thing about peace, right, is that you look for a joy that passes all understanding, and within that you find peace.
Yeah.
Now, if you know anything about any man, I'll tell you something about your husband. He's probably said it in many ways, right? But I'm going to put it very plain. There is nothing that is of more value to us than peace.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. Men pursue peace.
Yeah. And women?
And it is a noble pursuit. Security.
Yeah. True.
Okay? There is nothing more noble than pursuing peace. What is the point of me being happy that, I acted today? Yeah, guys. Oh, the script. Oh, it spoke to me. Right?
It served.
But then I go home and there's no peace.
Yeah. I hear you.
You see, we have to prioritize differently. Stop pursuing peace.
We have to prioritize a life of purpose. That's what I'm hearing you exactly.
Now, define for yourself what
purpose
your purpose is in life.
I like
I've
that.
made my decision as to what purpose is for me? What is it for you? And then prioritize accordingly, because within that, you're going to find peace. When you have peace, you find joy. When you have joy, you are happy.
You are happy automatically.
That's
so
it.
It's about purpose.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So tell me, what's the first thing that you do when you wake up in the morning?
I pray.
You pray?
Yeah.
And take me through your morning routine.
Morning routine.
Even though I know days are not the same, but mostly what you do.
I try to keep my days the same, eh?
Oh, beautiful.
I try to keep my days the same.
That?
I try as much as possible to get into, I want to be a robot, man. As much as possible. Because my life is so dynamic. The things that I can control, I try to control them. So I wake up in the morning, I pray. As a matter of fact, I have a friend of mine that we've made a deal that we're going to pray every morning. So I get on a call with him, 4:00. We pray. And then I wake my girls up at 5:00, help them get ready, breakfast, whatever. What do you need? What are you doing? Hey, don't.
Are you praying for an hour?
Come here. What do you?
From 4 to 5.
From 4 to 5. You know.
Okay.
Then I drive my kids mad. They're just like, yo, this guy's a slave driver. You know what I mean? I get them ready for school, and then again, I have the privilege of taking them to school.
You get them ready for school.
I mean, I do not alone, but
yeah,
you know,
of course,
yeah. You know, it's a team effort. Again, it's my way of putting a system in place for me to spend time with them, right? Because like today, I'm not going to see. I might get home if I'm lucky, I might get home at 10 tonight. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so I try to. And then I try to. Anyway, we are on the morning routine.
Yeah,
so I take them to school. I come back. I get ready. And then start my day. Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Let's go back to your childhood.
Oh, okay.
How did you grow up? What's the name of the street you grew up on? Do you have any particular memories that you remember from when you were 4 or 5? Your formative years, I want earlier on, not older, earlier on. What do you remember?
Formative years is very interesting because when I was 1, my family moved to New York. I came back when I was 5.
Yeah.
I remember in New York, I remember my friends. I remember the snow. I remember the church we went to. I remember the music I was listening to.
Do you remember how the transition
I remember we were
like?
on Claremont Street.
Yeah.
But more than anything from my childhood, because we spent most of our time in Yeovil. Coming back. So that's like the street I remember.
Yeovil was the thing, man.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Abashante, Boomshaka. Down the road was Brenda Fassi, Percy. It was happy. Schoolgirls, you know, Bolatoya, and like we were all friends, and it was an arts community. And obviously, my father being an actor, that was the hub, you know. And so it was really cool. What I remember about the street, I remember the bus. Bus number 22, man, that always used to come from my school down there. I remember sitting on the corner. Things were tough. I remember sitting on the corner with my mom, and we were selling vegetables, and the school bus coming, right, with all the kids from the schools, and they would like look at me sitting on the corner, like, you know, selling vegetables. And I was at a private school at the time, and, you know, just feeling like, this is, you know what I mean? I remember that about that street. I remember friends, man. I remember, you know, the girl I had a crush on, you know, walking across the street on that side. And I was like, hey, feeling shy and stuff. I remember my best friend who used to live down the road on the same street. Yeah, good memories.
Beautiful.
Good memories.
I love the smile that comes with it as well.
Yeah.
Are there like principles or values that you feel like when you look back that you feel like you carried until this age maybe that are still fueling you up?
Yeah, of course. I mean, how could you not? I think one of the benefits of hindsight is your ability to know where you're going, right? Like know where you come from and where you come from, by the way, was very intentional by God. You know, God was whispering certain things to you as a child, whether it be a positive or a negative experience, you know. And so for me, it was a little bit of a tough time. I had identity issues growing up, you know, being the American kid with a South African name who's not quite black enough, who's not, you know what I mean, and just learning to create your own space.
Yeah.
You know, I worked with your husband in the industry as musicians, and I remember how I had to create my own space even in that, you know, because I was never quite black enough, and I was never, you know what I mean, but I was just like, look, it's who I am, and you know, take me or leave me, and you know, take me as I am. And I learned to lean on my talent, you know, and understand that that's enough. You know, that's something that I had to learn.
That's
something
really
I'm teaching my
powerful,
kids,
actually,
you know.
Lean into your authenticity.
Lean in, because your difference is your power. You know, what makes you different is what makes you powerful.
That's why you had to grow up the way you did.
100%.
All those stories.
And it was tough.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, it was tough.
But as difficult as it was. Yeah. Maybe that's what makes you so driven in what you do.
I hope so. You know, I thought it was just struggle.
Because you understand your own story and your purpose that came with that.
And I'm still figuring it out.
Yeah.
You know, we were speaking earlier on, and I was just saying that there's no point of arrival. You know, I love how God just continues to reveal you to yourself. You know, and then you look back and have you ever watched Slumdog Millionaire? So Slumdog Millionaire is about the street kid in India who goes through all these experiences. He's not necessarily smart.
What happened?
He had all these experiences that gave him all the answers to Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, right? And it's such a powerful analogy because you start to realize that life is exactly the same, that the answers that you need for life lay in your experiences of the past. You know, and that's how you hit the jackpot.
Oh, but I don't remember what happened. I don't remember that. I don't remember watching that. Pretty too young, but I don't think so.
Yeah. I don't know.
So is there something, do you remember a moment in your childhood? I know we touched on growing up, transitioning from America to South Africa, finding yourself in the music space as well. Is there a moment or an instant in your childhood where you started feeling like, actually, let me ask it this way, where you started experiencing maybe being displaced or negativity, starting to see it for the first time? Do you remember that moment, that instance?
Yeah.
How it made you feel? What was it?
Yeah. So coming from the US, I went to the school. Okay, so I have to give context of the school. This school was the first private school in South Africa to open its doors to black kids. That's the school I went to. So
what year is this?
For all intents and purposes, this is 90. Wait, give me a second.
Okay.
It's 91, 92. When I go to the school, I don't know when they open their doors to black kids, but when I go to the school, it's 92.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So I specifically remember that I think in my parents' mind, this was a progressive space, right? What I realized maybe 5 years ago when I start unpacking my experience then is that school, the black kids at that school, for the large part are politicians' kids, right? So they come from the affluent areas of Soweto, DK, Pimville, Phase 3. You understand?
Yeah.
So there's still black kids from Soweto. And those ones that are living in Houghton, Observatory, they're still black, right? So me coming into the space thinking that these black people are progressive and having an international person, they'll just be like, oh, no, that wasn't the case. Because it was like, make it make sense. Your name is Lerato.
But you speak the way you
But
speak.
you've got a New York accent.
Yeah.
and you are black, but you're not, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it took me a while to kind of pick it up because I was just, like any kid, you're looking for acceptance, you're looking for community, And so what then happened was I started gravitating towards white people because white people were like, oh yeah, Larry.
Yeah.
Then I was just Larry.
Yeah.
I didn't understand at the time how problematic that was, which is another story for another day. But then I was just Larry. And then I grew up with a circle of white people because they were just like, yeah, you're one of us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I was just at all these parties being the token black guy.
Yeah.
I was the only black person at white parties. And so that was the first time I think, my first few years of coming back to SA, that's the first time I experienced rejection, I would say. Did I answer your question?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
You did. And do you see that rejection? Have you ever seen it sort of manifest in the older you?
Yes.
Feeling those feelings that you felt when you were little. And how did you sort of deal with
I'm
that?
still working on it.
How do you work on it?
I'm still working on it. Ooh, that's such a good question. So, creating my own space, understanding that you don't have to be in spaces that you're not welcome in, and there are spaces where people embrace you. And if the invitation comes, go.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't, don't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just try to simplify my life. Like, I'm glad that I'm going through this, and I try to teach my kids the same thing.
Yeah.
Like, because they go through that, that, this friend of mine didn't talk to me or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, listen, let me tell you something.
Let me lay it down.
You get good.
Yeah.
Just be the best at what you know what I mean? My kids are graduating top of their class. They're excelling in sports. You know what I mean? And they're finding they're creating their own space where now people want to come in. And I'm like,
become the creator.
Like I told you, like I told you, as I learn, I teach.
You're the creator of your own life.
Yeah, well,
not in that context.
I know what you mean, but I know what you mean. Yes.
No.
You get to choose.
Yeah,
you really get to choose the quality of life. When a flower doesn't bloom, you don't fix the flower. You fix the environment in which the flower grows. Right.
So, how did dating look like for you then? You're this black kid and you're trying to navigate.
Yeah, I dated white girls.
Yeah,
I dated white girls. I dated white girls until I got to high school, man, and I was like, there's something about a black woman.
Yeah.
But there was just something about
until you came home to yourself.
You understand?
I call it that.
And what happened and what happened, honestly, was I told my parents, I was like, nope. I'm moving in with my grandmother, Kosoeto. I gotta go find my black. Those were my literal words, you know what I mean? And I went there and I did everything as blackety black as I could possibly do it, you know what I mean? I was hanging out on the corner. I was going to, street parties. I was, makuinya, kota, special, everything.
You went all in.
Listen, man, I had the greatest friends there. They would make fun of me, cheesy or whatever. But I was just like, I don't care, man. I know why I'm here.
Yeah.
And then I just started noticing black girls, man, and I was just like, nah, this is I need to get on this, and it's funny that was my motivation, but that was like a big part of my motivation because black girls, by the time I'm at NSA, right, National School of Arts, and now it's not Sacred Heart, it's not just like black people from the upper echelons, where I can find something.
Everyone.
No. I'm talking about these are like they're black. You know what I'm saying? And like Nebankaza, man, they just and I was like, okay, yeah, there's a vibe about you, you know what I mean? But I couldn't quite relate, and I wanted to be relatable, so.
And you think it was you finding your identity, starting to define as part of yourself that you never got the opportunity to?
I would say it was fun exploring it. In hindsight, it should have never. I allowed it to take away from who I was authentically. I thought there was something wrong with me, And today I realized that no, it was great to explore. It was actually that was the purpose of it. The purpose of me going to Soweto and having that experience was to add to my basket of experiences.
Yeah.
That's all it was.
What do you love most about yourself?
That I'm stubborn. Yeah.
Why is that a good thing? Let's get into that.
Because you can't have faith without being stubborn. How do you explain faith? You know what I mean? I realized that the greatest gift that God has given me is faith. But you can't have faith without being stubborn. There has to be an element of, guys, you guys believe in fairy tales.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm like, yeah. Yeah. In order for me to have the ability to lead my family in the way that I think God needs me to lead my family, there's a stubbornness that's required.
Yeah.
In order for me to be the kind of husband that is required of me, there's a stubbornness that's required. In order for me to excel in business and my business pursuits, there's a stubbornness that's required. In order for me to say, we are going there, even though everything is pointing there. And I'm like, no, when we are going there, you know what I mean? And if you think about anybody that's done anything significant in life, let's go back to the Bible. Moses had to be stubborn. He had to be. How come on. Noah had to be. Job had to be stubborn. David. All these guys. Paul. They had to be stubborn. How else?
Yeah, how else?
How else? I'm talking about personality. I'm not talking about conviction.
Yeah.
I'm talking about personality.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, you're stubborn. Yeah, it gets on some people's nerves. Yeah, it whatever. But you see, because I'm stubborn, it's given me the ability to not fear failure. I don't fear it. I'm like, yeah, we're going. Yeah, what if you lose? And then I would have learned. Let's go.
And that's what you need in business as well.
100%.
Yeah.
Be stubborn. I'm stubborn about my price. I'm like, no, that's
how much
that's the price. Lerato, you're going to lose the deal. So be it. That's my price.
Yeah.
You know?
I love that.
So I love
what
that.
What does holistic wellness mean to you?
Yeah, you're asking such good questions. What does holistic wellness mean to me? Living authentically. I think many of us are not paying enough attention to who we are. And as a result, we are living in the shadow of other people's expectations. And that can't be good for your wellness. My experience has taught me that it's not good for my wellness, because when I go to bed, I'm alone.
Yeah.
This is including your spouse, by the way. When you go to bed next to your spouse, you're still alone with yourself.
Yeah.
With your thoughts.
Yeah.
With your,
honor your truth. That's what holistic wellness means.
Boom.
It's not a schedule. It's not what you do when you wake up in the morning. It's not what you do when other people are here. It's honor the truth, your truth, the one that's in your heart.
100%.
You couldn't have said it better. 100%. I love that explanation of it, actually. Even though you didn't say it in those words.
But you did.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, you found the vocabulary for it. That's what I mean. Yeah.
So what does obedience mean to you? Obedience. Let's touch obedience and surrender at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No, you see, you're talking about surrender, and surrender is a very big theme in my life right now. So I'm still discovering a lot of things around surrender, obedience and surrender.
Yeah.
What I know to be true about surrender is it's complete.
Okay, get in there.
There's no half measure.
Yeah.
You can't give a part of surrender. Yeah, I surrendered this part, but this one I'm holding on to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What I'm learning about surrender is that it's not for God's good, it's for mine.
Mm.
And that I'm not doing God a favor, and I'm not changing his mind about what he is going to do already. And what
cannot
he
manage
has.
God.
No, you're not going to manipulate God.
Mm.
I've learned that surrender is doing myself a favor. You know, it's like I'll have a lot of conversations with my friends, and we'll go around a thing, and it's like, yeah, bro, I'm just going to give it to God, as though it wasn't his already. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, we got this idea,
Oh
like,
my God.
yeah, bro, you know, yeah, we
That's
should just
so
give it to God. And I'm
profound.
like, but it's already God's.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's our arrogance.
Yeah.
Let me rephrase. It's our lack of knowledge.
Yeah.
And understanding of who God is. That we have the audacity. And I'm just like, but who do we think we are, guys? So surrender is complete. That's what I mean by it. It's complete. Sure. And secondly, as soon as you think you've arrived, you realize that no, there's another level. There's a deeper level to the surrender thing.
Yeah.
And don't chase an arrival. You know, chase intimacy. Chase growing in capacity. I think we were speaking about this earlier. So yeah, chase that. Chase that. You know, because God is always revealing himself.
Yeah.
Always. You know.
And you're saying it's lack of understanding who God is.
Yeah.
In my life. That's why I don't seek the intimacy with him. So who is he in your life?
Yeah. You know, before, okay, great question. But before we go to in my life, who is God?
Yeah. Take it away, man of God.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like before, before in your life, do you have any understanding of who God is? Because as soon as you say in my life, you're almost
I get it.
Trying to encapsulate him into
your life. Who is sovereign
a
God?
Capsule. I don't know if you've ever heard of, if you've ever read about the firmament. Sorry, the throne room. And in the throne room, how there are angels and the 12 apostles, and how they're bowing and worshiping.
Oh yeah, of course,
God on the throne, day and night, night and day, and the angels with eyes on their wings and all of that stuff, like really like spooky stuff, right?
Revelations.
You know, yeah. Do you know what I take from that story? The first thing is that I don't know if we can wrap our minds around the fact that this is something that blows my mind. I don't know why it doesn't blow people's minds. So God has existed for all eternity past. God created time. He lives outside of time. He has never not existed.
Yeah.
Us being in heaven, living for eternity, he has existed for eternity that way.
That way. That's beautiful stuff, man.
Like, first of all.
Yeah.
So this is the God that we're talking about. Number two, in the heavenly of heavenlies, these angels and apostles are bowing day and night, night and day, right? For eons, millions of years, right? It is said that every time they come up, they see a different face. Them bowing is not voluntary. They almost buckle under the majesty of this figure. And guys, day and night, night and day. Do you understand? Like, and every time they come up, they're just like, wow. I can't look.
Wait.
So I'm just saying this to say, like,
sure.
Whether we're talking about obedience, or we're talking about surrender, or we're talking about who God is in my life,
do you understand?
I understand that there is no life
without him.
I don't have a life.
Sure.
There's no life outside of him.
Yeah.
And that has to be the bedrock
Yeah.
of everything. Literally everything. Like there are no kids, there's no marriage, there's no career, there's no life, there's no conversation. There is nothing that exists outside of him.
Yeah. Shucks. That answers my next question, because I'll tell you why I wanted to ask this question. Because for the longest time in my life, I struggled with really accepting with what I needed to do for God. Even the call upon my life, I was like, no, man, But you saying that, you just confirmed something for me, that it does not belong to you. It never did.
Koketso, let me ask you this question.
It never did.
You made a comment just now. What I can do for God. What can you do for God?
Even that. Thank you for saying that. You can't. It's not yours.
What could you possibly do for God?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna give. I'm giving for God. My brother. He's God.
Yeah.
He's infinite. You can't. No, you're giving for yourself, not for God. He might look favorably upon your gift.
Yeah.
He might. But he might not.
Yeah.
Because that could possibly not be the thing that he's concerned about.
Yeah.
Actually, in that juncture of your life. So this idea that, breakthrough. Oh, sorry.
No, that's true. Why are you saying sorry? Because, okay.
You know what I'm saying? Give and press down, shaken together, run it. Wait.
Isn't this what we were talking about yesterday? Sorry, guys, my husband's here. Anyway.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's like, no. Like, you get to give.
Yeah.
That's an honor and a privilege. You get to give. You're like, Lord, I cannot believe that God has given me something that I'm able to give. You're talking about, let's 10%. Let's discuss this 10%. Is it biblical? Bro.
Yeah.
Like, you get to serve people. You get to love people. God has given you breath in your life. He's given you life. You have the opportunity. And now you want to be debating, like, what? Nah, bro.
You have the opportunity to serve.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the role of women in the church? I'm asking it this way because I want a conversation. I've got my own thoughts, obviously. But what's the role? What do you think? We want to learn.
I was about to say something and I realized it's a cop-out. So let me stand on business.
Okay.
Sorry, I can see my wife just that she's just like, oh, my brother.
I wish you have you guys both then. Yeah. On this topic specifically.
Gosh, it's just the way that you asked it. It's a little bit difficult, but I want to shoot straight. And I'm trying to make sure that I'm clear. So we need to start unpacking these things, guys. And you see, you asked me now. You see, now you opened up Pandora's box.
Let's go there.
So let's go for it.
Yeah.
I believe in gender roles. 100%.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, let us consider the way that we were created.
Yeah.
All right. God created my body, physically created my body, stronger than yours.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is?
Strength, protection, I guess. I don't know. Never really. Yeah, hunting. Oh, yeah.
Hunting. My body was created in order for this body to be able to brave the elements, the sun, the snow, the rain, the everything, right? So that I can go out with my spear that I shaped to kill that animal.
Mm-hmm.
And he gave me broad shoulders in order to take this animal and put it over my shoulders.
Yeah.
He gave me strong legs in order to traverse all of these mountains.
Yeah.
To end up getting back to my house at the top of that mountain,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm.
With a deer on my back, right?
Yeah. And I can't do that. I know that. Yeah.
No, you can't, right? There's fulfillment in seeing the sun is going down and over the sunset, there's a silhouette of your husband and you can see he's carrying something.
Yeah.
And you're like, that's my man.
That's true.
I know, that's right.
Okay,
right?
That's true, yeah.
There's something about your husband seeing what he has worked hard for and you nurturing it.
Yeah.
And he goes, I know that's right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm talking about innate things, how we have been created.
And
Okay.
I hear that.
Now, the church is a family. And within the church, we have to understand that everybody has got innate needs. Everybody has got innate gifts. Everybody has got responsibilities that God has appointed them and said, this is what I have commissioned for you to do. Whether man, woman, child, elder, youth,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. However, there are clues in the way that God created us to say, I would rather trust a woman with finances. That's got nothing to do with gender roles.
Yeah.
It's got to do with the fact that when we go out and get the funding, the evidence of how God created us is that a woman knows how to multiply it.
Wow, thank you so much. I've learned a lot.
I feel
I've
like
learned
I'm talking a lot.
No, you're not talking a lot. We need to hear it. You're educating and you're spreading wisdom. Can we play a game?
Let's play a game.
So the
Let's
name
take
of
a
the
break.
game is called story juggling. How it works is you start a story, any random story.
Okay.
Then I throw words at you. You have to incorporate those words into your story.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah, it's
Cool.
so much fun.
All right.
So when you're ready, yeah.
Gosh, I better not fumble this. Okay, cool. No pressure. So I start any story. Can you give
Any
me a
sto-
plot?
No,
Anything?
plot.
So I must start any.
Yeah.
And I'm the narrator of the story.
Yes.
Okay.
It's your story.
Okay.
You can make it up. Just
Okay.
get the words in there as I
All
throw
right.
them at you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. When you're ready.
The leader had no time. Once upon a time,
Mm-hmm.
there was a very, very tall, dark, and quite a beastly man. This man was feared by many in his village.
Sheep.
One day,
Mhm.
sheep or she?
Sheep.
One day, he walked outside his village and found a herd of sheep. Wondering, he thought to himself,
Puke.
who do these sheep belong to?
Mm-hmm.
He went around asking the neighbors, walking through the pews, wondering who these particular sheep could possibly belong to. But he really was not quite getting to the source of the owner of these sheep.
Snake.
And so he then went out and pursued these sheep. But on his way, he came across a deadly snake.
Toenails.
What he feared most
Yeah.
was the snake attacking his toenails. I told you this man was very ghastly.
Baby
and feared.
diaper.
Say again?
Baby diaper.
He was really feared because he had ghastly toenails.
Mm-hmm.
But the cure was in his ability to find a baby's diaper
No way!
in order to clean his toenails.
Coffee.
And so, as he set out, avoiding the snake to find a baby's diaper so that he could go and get a hold of those sheep, he thought to himself, I need a break, a coffee break. And that's exactly what he did.
Fart.
He had a coffee break. Unfortunately, his body is not agreeable to caffeine. This causes him to fart a lot. He proceeded, because of his love for coffee, to drink this coffee. And as he set out on his big conquest, his quest rather, to grab a hold of these sheep for himself, he was farting the whole way.
Oh my God.
Love it for him.
Oh, poor man.
Yes. I don't know
it's
where the
fine.
diapers.
The end.
The end. You're welcome.
It's a wrap.
Thank you for having me, guys. It was so great.
It was so great having you here.
Yeah.
But I feel like we need to have you again. I feel like we didn't go past our questions.
That's cool.
An hour went by so quickly.
Cool. Look, I think the reality is this. There was one question that I said Koketso must not ask me, because I said to her, man, that's a whole other podcast, and we're going to go down a rabbit hole. But for a lot of the things that you asked me, they are a subject on its own. I'm just really glad that we were able to unpack a couple of things, and just have conversations about them. I think this is what I enjoy to do. I enjoy just having a really great conversation, and thank you for being a great host. Thanks to yourself and your husband for inviting me, and we'll do it again.
Yes, man, let's do it again. Are you writing a book?
Someday.
Oh, someday.
Yeah.
But if your life were to be a book, what would the title be?
The Man in the Car.
The Man in the Car?
Yeah.
Why?
It's intriguing, right?
Yeah.
Tell the truth. You would pick up that book and want to read the back to be like, what is this about?
Exactly. But anyway, maybe answer it when next you come.
Oh, yes. Okay, cool.
Of course.
The Man
so that they can want to know.
Yeah. The Man in the Car.
The Man in the Car. Thank you so much for watching, you guys. And from myself and our wonderful guest, bye for now.